Hi guys, I'm gonna go over how to make this stargazing painting. So, we're gonna use watercolor paper. We're gonna use watercolors for the sky, salt, and then I use some acrylic white, black, and green for trees and a few more stars. All right, so first we need to get our watercolors out. We tape down our painting and get it all wet. So we're gonna put the salt on it. That's gonna make the water go away from where you put the salt to look like stars, and it needs to be very wet, otherwise the salt doesn't do anything. So that is the one hard part about this watercolor part, is to keep the whole paper wet so you can put on the salt. So for my night sky, I'm using purple and a dark blue and some black. And I kind of made like a Milky Way type thing that you'll see here in a bit by putting lighter colors down the middle. So layers, and just trying to keep the whole thing wet. So I try to get the darkest parts to be at the corners, so then my Milky Way kind of goes through the middle. So the black and the dark blue are more in the corners, and then I put more purple and lighter blue for my Milky Way across the middle. So, and then I just keep trying to keep it wet as much as I can. And feel free to pause this video at any point, or skip parts. Whatever you need. So watercolor is a lot of layers, so more and more. Started putting the black on now. Okay, now I got my salt, and I put a lot of salt, especially in the Milky Way area, right down the middle, because that's kind of what makes Milky Way look the way it does, is because it has so many stars. So I put a ton of salt there, which you can kind of see my lightest part of purple is a little drier than I would like. All right, and then when everything was all dry, completely dry, I kind of brushed off the salt. If there's still some left on there, it's not a big deal. You don't need to go scraping every little piece off. Just kind of dust it off into the trash can. And then I'm gonna pull out some acrylic white paint, tiny bit. I even got too much with what I have there. And then I took the back end of the paintbrush and just made extra bright dots everywhere for some more stars. Just kind of randomly throughout, though the most amount of stars would probably be in the center Milky Way portion. So just have fun. Doesn't need to be any specific way. There's stars or not. I don't know. You could also put in like yellow dots for yellow stars, and some of the stars are planets and they have a little more color, so you could do, but as long as it's like a light color, you know, like a light yellow, light pink, light blue, you could probably do that too. Oh, and then I flicked some paint on for some splatter stars. So white paint, get the paintbrush wet though, so it kind of thins it out a little bit, or thin out your paint with some water so it'll splatter. Otherwise, if it's too thick, it won't do a whole lot. You're gonna get your fingers dirty for this. So, and then black. I got way too much black here and I got it in my cap. But anyway, we're making trees. So this is like you're laying on the ground looking up at the sky. So first I made the tree trunks just all around, and then I didn't know exactly how I wanted to make the branches. I tried a couple different things at first, but I think I like just dabbing the paintbrush the best. So where the top of the trees would be, you know, at the center, it's going to be less branches. So, and then down toward the bottom, it's going to be thicker. So I just went around, dot, 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 everywhere. And these are more pine trees every time I go camping, it's usually in like Sholo, Arizona, where it's ponderous pine trees. Anyway, and then I put a little bit of white just because like the stars or maybe the moon shining back down just on the tops of everything here in a bit when I'm done with the black. Go. Just a little bit. And it's kind of mixing with the black paint I already have on my brush, which is kind of what I wanted. Don't have to do this part. It'll look fine without the white. I kind of like to mix my paint on the canvas while everything's still wet. That's personal preference. Alright, and then I got some green out. It took me a while to find it. And clean my brush. And then I kind of mixed it in with the black and the white that was already there. I didn't want it to be bright green because it's dark. You know, it's nighttime, so this is a very dark green. If you got it too bright, I think it would kind of distract from it being nighttime. But it's the fun thing about acrylic. You could always paint over it. Now I wouldn't be able to put watercolor on top of this, but and there we are. I'm gonna take the paint off and tape off, and voila.